My name is Deanna and I'm at the Hanover Branch of the Pamunkey Regional Library, and today's program is called What is a Thaumatrope? And if you're like me, you probably haven't heard of this before, but I promise they're going to be fun. We have a limited number of kits to be picked up at the Hanover Branch. Or if you want to print a template from our website, these take just a few simple items that you probably already have at home, and Shannon's going to show us how to make these really fun toys.
Hi everyone, my name is Shannon and I'm a library associate here at the Hanover Branch of the Pamunkey Regional Library, and today we're going to be making a fun activity which is called a thaumatrope. It's a weird name, I know, but they're a lot of fun, trust me. So thaumatropes were actually played with by children 100 years ago when there was no TV, no video games, no computers, no phones. It's actually very similar to an animated movie. Animated movies came about, I'd like to say maybe 10 to 20 years after these little activities, but they're kind of like the grandfathers. So whenever you watch an animated movie, you can always think, hey, I did something similar to that. So a thaumatrope is where you take an image and another image, and you put the two together, and when you flip them over, you see the first image and the second image. But when you line them up, you see both of them together at the same time. And so it makes your eyes think that there's one image instead of two, because they're moving so fast, your eyes don't realize that there's two images, you only see one. And that's what happens when we watch an animated movie. You're actually looking at a bunch of different pictures all lined up next to each other, all moving super fast at once. And your eyes don't know that there's more than one picture going on. All you see is whatever character you're watching on the movie. And that's kind of amazing, honestly. But on to the activity. I could talk about this all day. So now we're going to actually make a thaumatrope. So what you'll do is you'll either print out one of our activity sheets from the website here, or we do have a few of these already ready for you at the Hanover Branch. So feel free to stop by and come pick up one, but they are in a limited supply. So I would say just go ahead and print one out. So we have actually 3 different options that you can choose from. We have a blank one. If you wanted to, if you're feeling really creative, you can draw a picture here. 2 different images, like maybe a fish and a fishbowl, or a tree and some grass. But something like that, if you want to make your own. But if you're not as confident with your drawing skills as I am not very confident with mine, you can print out either a flower and a face, or a bird and a cage, or a fish and a bowl. And what you'll do is you'll take one of these and print it out, and then what you're going to do is take scissors, some glue, you can use a glue stick or you can use regular glue, either one is fine, and a hole puncher. And you'll also take 2 rubber bands. I recommend really thin rubber bands so that they can slip through the holes of the thaumatrope, but that'll come later. And as for the paper you can use for printing these out on, we would say cardstock is a little bit better than using just plain printer paper, just because cardstock is a little bit thicker, but printer paper is fine too. Either one is fine. If you wanted to use cardboard, you could do that too, and maybe you could glue the images on there, but I don't know if cardboard will go through your hole punch. It might. I might not go through mine, but it could go through yours. So what we'll do now is we'll take one of these, and we're just going to cut the circles out. We're going to pretend that we're cutting the circles out, but you're going to do it. I already have. So we're going to cut the circles out, and then we're going to take both images that are on the picture, and we are going to glue them together. So I have some that, like I said, I've already cut out, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue the 2 of these together. using your glue stick or using your glue, or you could even use tape if you wanted to. And you're just going to take the two circles and make sure that the images are both A, lined up, and B, having one image facing right side up and the other image facing upside down. Now, this doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't make sense to me, but when you line it up, the image that is upside down will be right side up, and the image that is already right side up will just continue to stay that way. So I'm going to glue it like this. And then, since you guys have not hole punched your paper yet, you're going to go ahead and take your hole punch, and you're going to go ahead and stamp 2 holes on one side of the paper and on the other side of the paper. Now, I've already done it, so I'm going to skip that step as well. And lastly, what you're going to do is you're going to take a rubber band and slip it through the holes of the first side. And you're going to take one end of the rubber band and loop it through the other end, like so. And then you're going to pull it so that it sticks. See that? And then you're going to take the other rubber band and do the exact same thing on the opposite side. And once again, you're going to take the rubber band and you're going to loop it through the other hole, the other opening of the rubber band, and then you're going to pull. And what you should have is one image that is right side up and another image that is upside down. So I actually put these on wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to correct myself. And you may find that you've done this as well. Just make sure that whatever other half of the picture that you have, it's lined up where it will be once the image is right side up. So because I'm taking the flowers here and the flowers are already upside down here, I'm going to take the vase and have it be not on the same side as the flowers, but on the opposite side. So that once I put them together, they will line up. I did not do this earlier, but I'm doing it now. And hopefully you guys will be much better at this than I am, and you will be experts, and you'll be able to do this without having to start over like me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do exactly what I was doing earlier. So I'm gonna take this once again, and I'm going to glue them together. And because I already have the holes printed out, or stamped out, I'm going to go ahead and just loop my rubber bands through. I like to take my fingers and kind of open up the rubber band and then use those same fingers to grab the other end and pull it through. I find that it makes it a lot easier that way, otherwise I might be confused. And there we go. All right, so at this point, you should have the vase on one side, the flowers on the other side, and you should be able to wind them up together. But before I do that, I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice on how to roll these up. So if you can, take your fingers and put them through the rubber band, like I'm doing right here, on both sides. I found that it's a lot easier to just grab the paper as you're rolling, because then you can control how tightly you want it to be rolled up. So you'll take your fingers, once again, the fingers that are in the rubber bands, and you'll hold on to the paper, and then you're going to flip it over as you go. And you can do what I'm doing, where you take one side and flip it over and grab it with the other side and flip it over. Or you could do this if you wanted to and just let your fingers do the work for you like that. Either way is fine. The goal though is to get it as tightly wound up as possible. With that, of course, getting a knot in the rubber bands like I just did. So I'm going to do this for a little bit until I think that this is tight enough. I think it's good. So once you feel like your rubber bands have been as wound up as they can possibly be, or as wound up as you would like them to be, you're going to take your fingers and you're going to pull them apart at the same time. And as soon as you do that, you should see that the discs will spin and the image will, instead of being 2, will be 1. So I'm going to do it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Now, hopefully that wasn't too hard for you. And sometimes when you flip it, you're able to see, oh, did I actually put the pictures on in the right order as they should be? I wasn't exactly sure if I did it right or not, so this is a good opportunity for me to just spin it again and look at it again and see if I did it right. But if you've done it right already, then you're good. You can just go ahead and play with it as much as you want. If you don't think that they're right though, and the glue hasn't stuck together yet, you can go ahead and try to peel it off and maybe start over and make a new one. Or if it doesn't matter to you, just go ahead and have fun with it. So I'm going to do it again, just to look at it and see if I have it right. And I do not have it right, but you get the picture. I am going to show you one that was done right, and we did it earlier, and I know it's right. So this one has the bird on the right side. So the bird is facing up, and this side has the cage upside down. So the bird is right side up, and the cage is upside down, and when you flip them, they become the right way. So I'm going to flip this one because I know this one was done right. And I think that's pretty good. And I'm going to pull them apart. And you should be able to see it the right way now. There it goes. And if you did the bird just like me, you should be able to see that the bird is in the cage. If you did the flowers, you should see that the flowers are in the vase. And if you did the fish, you should be able to see that the fish is happily in its little bowl. All right. So that's our activity for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, even though I messed it up. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I think you will too. And this is something that you can honestly do again and again. You can honestly, if you wanted to, you could make these and just take them with you in the car when you're going somewhere. They're a lot of fun to play with in the car. They're honestly a lot of fun to have around wherever you are. So hopefully you'll find that you've had a lot of fun with this just like I did. And I hope I can see you guys all at the library because we miss having our patrons here. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy yourselves. Bye.